Hello, my name is Camilla McPherson and I'm Head of Secretariat for Prime Finance. I'm here with Bob Pickle, who is our Chair. Prime Finance has now been around for 10 years. I wondered if, Bob, you could bring us up to date on how the mission has evolved over that time.
Sure. Well, at its core, we're still focused on alternative dispute resolution of global financial contracts such as derivatives. So we continue to focus on that set of rules, various things we'll hear about a little bit later in our presentation. We also are very much focused on education, and that has several different aspects. We have a conference program that includes our flagship conference in The Hague every year, but also conferences more recently in London and in New York, and a virtual conference in Asia. Training of judges is also an important part of our education process. So we have met with judges in various jurisdictions around the world. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But those are some ways in which the mission has evolved. We also grow our experts and find out new ways to engage our experts, something I'll talk about a little bit later in the presentation as well. Now, obviously the last couple of years have been very challenging with the pandemic, not just for Prime Finance, but for everybody around the world. But Camilla, tell us a little bit about how we managed to make it through the pandemic as Prime Finance.
Well, we managed, we're still here. One of the benefits of being an organisation that's fairly small is that we're also very nimble. So we were very quickly able to set up Prime Time, which is our virtual events programme. And we held around 20 sessions over 18 months, covering all of the topics that are close to the heart of Prime Finance's mission, including fintech, sustainable finance, dispute resolution in all its different forms. And the advantage was we were able to reach a much bigger global audience than we would normally be able to. The events were really well received. We got together a wonderful group of speakers. We're very grateful for all those who attended and gave their time. And all the recordings are available on our YouTube channel if you'd like to catch up. So one of the highlights of my time in Prime Finance was that we were awarded the Holsbury Rule of Law Award for our Judicial Training Programme. And maybe, Bob, you could just tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure, it's something I've been fairly actively involved in. So we've held over 20 sessions in about a dozen countries or more around the world, including 2 sessions that I did in Portugal over the last few years, a session in New York that I participated in. And we have involvement from a lot of our experts in these sessions, particularly in Asia. We've had sessions down in South America and elsewhere in North America. So it's truly a global, and it is truly an award-winning judicial training program. So that's been very important. And more recently, we've gone virtual with our judicial training with a session for judges in the Bahamas and elsewhere in the Caribbean. And that was very successful last year. We do hope to get back doing live in-person judicial training. And we're looking to grow that program over the course of the weeks and years to come. So the arbitration continues to be a focus. As I mentioned before, we have to have a set of rules. We do. We have recently redone those rules and produced them. And Camilla, you were leading that effort and heavily involved in that. So tell us a little bit about those rules and what they do.
Thank you so much, and it's a huge source of pride for me individually and organisationally that we have had this process of reviewing, redrafting and relaunching the Prime Finance arbitration rules. As always, these are firmly targeted at finance disputes. Our guiding principles when we came into this project were to produce something that would be efficient, comprehensive and transparent. I think we've succeeded. The Permanent Court of Arbitration, with whom we have a cooperation agreement, is really front and centre of the administration of any arbitration under the Prime Finance arbitration rules. We also have this amazing panel of experts, so experienced in worlds of finance and law, who are able to sit as arbitrators if that's what parties want. As well as that, we have the standard provisions that have in recent years become more front and centre of arbitration rules. So we have emergency arbitration proceedings, expedited proceedings, we have proceedings to deal with multi-party, multi-contract arbitrations. We have, as always, throughout the process, a focus on time, efficiency, cost. Bob, do you want to hold up a copy of the rules so people can see what they look like? I really recommend that you take a look. They're available on our website. And please consider using the Prime Finance arbitration rules and also including one of our model clauses, also available on our website, in your contracts. So it's been quite the ride. We have a lot of projects underway. It's been really terrific for me at every step of the process. Bob, tell us a bit more about how our P.R.I.M.E finance experts can get more involved in what we're doing.
Oh, sure. In the past year or so, we've set up 4 different fora of our experts. It gives them an opportunity to come together in an area where we have a concentration of experts in a particular area. They include experts in fintech, sustainable finance, market practices, and a group of current and former judges who talk about judicial issues. So these forums are platforms to talk about the issues, in some cases to develop papers, and also to provide input to our conference program and to recommend additional experts who we can add to our panel with a focus in those particular areas. So that's a big part more recently of what we've done with the experts. We also look to them to be involved in our training programs, both the conferences and also our judicial training programs. And we also look to them to be supportive financially, whether individually, as experts, or perhaps through their organizations who can sponsor our conferences and also arrange for attendance by their colleagues at our conferences. So lots of ways for experts to get involved, and we're always exploring new ways to get them involved.
Right. Truly, it's been a wonderful 10 years. So what next?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you that if the past 10 years is any indication of what the next 10 years holds for P.R.I.M.E Finance, we have a very bright future, and we look forward to having our experts involved and more of our listeners and watchers involved. So please follow P.R.I.M E Finance, follow our YouTube channel, and look for other ways to find out more about P.R.I.M E Finance. Thank you.